We begin tonight with a major shakeup for Canada's oldest retailer. Hudson's Bay has filed for creditor protection, a move that could reshape its future.
There are rumors of bankruptcy around an iconic Canadian retailer founded in 1670. Yeah, Hudson's Bay, the oldest and longest surviving company in North America, and one of the oldest and largest continually operating companies in the world.
It's pretty badass.
Once one of the largest landowners on earth as well.
Yeah.
They have filed for creditor protection and plan to restructure their business. The announcement cited significant pressures, including weak consumer spending, U.S.-Canada trade tensions, and reduced foot traffic in downtown stores following the pandemic as reasons for these issues.
Man, you hate to see it. I mean, Hudson's Bay just got, yes, I'm sure they've got a peppered past of the good and the bad and the ugly, but, they are kind of iconic here in Canada, as you said, Dan. The first Hudson's Bay company store opened back in 1881 in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And all the way back then, it offered an inventory of dry goods, groceries, hardware. Don't forget, this originated out of like the pelts, like the fur pelts business. Then fast forward a few decades, in 1913, they began construction of a full line independent department stores. Their modernization program years later established the original 6, which were the kind of famous iconic department stores, mostly across Western Canada, in Calgary and Edmonton, Vancouver, Victoria, and then in Winnipeg and in Saskatoon. So, it's sad to see. And from a real estate perspective, this is worrisome as well, right? What does this mean for, again, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We just know it's a restructuring at this point, but what does this mean for Hudson's Bay's retail portfolio? And these stores would have been like the large anchor tenant in some of these beautiful locations that they had substantial space in. Do we see some of them close down? All we know is there is a restructuring at this point. So I don't want to speculate, but it's tough.
It wouldn't surprise me if they successfully restructured. Like, I feel like the brand is worth
strong enough. Yeah.
Like there's, somebody will come in, and I think it was Neiman Marcus took it over this time, right? But it was before it was something else. And let's see. I'm optimistic. Like you don't just, brands like that don't just end.
Don't just
right?
die. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
The quote in the article says, while very difficult, this is a necessary step to strengthen our foundation and ensure that we remain a significant part of Canada's retail landscape, despite the sector-wide challenges that have forced other retailers to exit the market. Liz Robdell, president and CEO of Hudson's Bay, said, now more than ever, it is critical that Canadian businesses are protected and positioned to succeed. Definitely tough times. That. Yeah, tough times in retail and in just kind of anything that involves Canada and U.S. Because I feel like everybody's just been having meetings for the past 4 weeks about whether or not, what they're going to do about the tariffs. And then it's like, well, let's just push this decision to next month. And then, what are we going to do? Oh, let's just push this to next month.
Just kind of makes me think of those all those meetings, but that meme, it's like, couldn't have just been an email? Like, can't we just get some emails going back and forth and save some time here?
It's almost like I feel like it's like the lockdowns kind of, it's like, hey, let's respond to this pertinent, like super pressing, urgent matter. And then it's like, oh, okay, never mind. It's gone. Like, honestly, tariffs are kind of like that right now.
Oh man, just give us a break. Okay, well now let's keep this trade moving here, Dan. Let's move on to our next. This is a bit of a quick piece here, but there have been some, you guessed it, rule changes that have blindsided some builders using none other than the almost famous / infamous CMHC MLI Select program.
Didn't we say this was going to happen? We fully called this. Anyway, it was another one of the so-called loopholes that I guess they identified that too many projects were trying to use. So what happened? The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, CMHC, has moved to block investors from trying to bundle together single-family home purchases in order to access cheaper commercial mortgages. And now some say the change may mean millions of dollars of planned housing will now struggle to find financing. Before you jump in here and get too excited, they did this with the knockdown of the points from 100 to 50 as well. Like everybody, it's funny because like all the real estate brokers. I was talking to Jake, who's in the article on this, and he sells a lot of these like pre-made CMHC deals to Toronto condo pre-con brokers who are now buying these MLI deals. And he's like, oh, it's not fair. It's unpredictable, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, try being like one of my consulting clients is like literally $1 billion project that qualified for 100 points with OBC. And now then CMHC rug pulled that down to 50 points, right? With the MLI thing. So I was like, look, I get it, but like, you can't say you didn't see this coming. Cause I mean, you and I very much saw this coming. Like we were like, this feels like the MERB program. As soon as I saw Toronto Precon piling in, I was like, they're going to push this.
I swear we did a full episode on it like a year ago.
No, but it was only a couple of months ago when we were talking about like the pre-con guys, and I was like, they're going to blow this thing up. They're going to blow this thing up. Just watch. And I thought it would take longer. Honestly, I really did. But anyway, they got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. So to get into the specifics, at the end of February, so only a few weeks ago, the CMHC began advising lenders and stakeholders that it would no longer approve any application to its mortgage loan insurance program, MLI Select, if required minimum 5 units of rental housing were not in the same building or on the same lot. That is the key piece. They're not in the same building, not in the same lot. Now, critics say that change came out of nowhere. Well, so have a lot of other ones. And with no consulting or warning, stranding many of these applications that in some cases have been waiting to be seen for months, or that have, I know how, Dan, we both know how much work and how robust some of these applications are. So this isn't an easy thing for some of these investors to have to digest, right? I mean, there's been months of work, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars spent to get to just this point. So they say many investments were based on a 2-year track record of CMHC approving similar loans.
There is so much to understand and be aware of in the world of financing these days. And that's why this is going to be one of the primary topics in the event that we're hosting. We're literally doing a full event on this. This is the most requested topic that we get. People are like, please do an entire educational event on financing. April 1st, April Fool's Day. If you live in the GTA, please come in person. But if you want to tune in from across the country, there are also virtual tickets available, and they will be available in the show notes. So sign up.
Yeah, so get them. I mean, literally, this is like we usually, Dan, we kind of let the market dictate our next move when it comes to certain things, right? When it comes to giving the people what they want. And we have gotten these types of questions a ridiculous amount over the last several years, and especially over the last couple of months. So here's another cool factor is we got the top economist from CMHC coming in to open up the event for us and give us a little keynote speech to set things off. And then I believe you're up next, Dan.
Yeah, I'm going to be on stage doing a segment on vendor take-back mortgages.
And then I'm going to be up right after you hosting a seriously impressive panel. We're going to be talking CMHC, MLI Select, all the program advantages and challenges with the likes of Max Goisman from Peak Hill and Josh Finley, all-star broker from Build Financial. But we don't want to just talk about CMHC's MLI Select because that's not all that's happening right now. There are other financing options. So we're going to be talking about the Canadian government's new secondary suite loan program with Michelle Ferrugia of Cognitive Capital. And then, of course, private and construction capital in order to get certain things built with Matt Gonzalez of Foremost Financial. Man, I am going to be the least smart person on that panel by far.
That means you're in the right room, though, right?
Luckily, I just have to ask the questions. Yeah, exactly.
Follow that up with some networking, which I have to say at the middle school event, there was an insane amount of networking going on. Like there was deals getting done. So many deals getting done. It was love to see it. So if it's anything like the past couple events we've thrown, it should be great. We're really looking forward to it. So get out there. We want to see you there.
We'll see you there. Okay, let's keep going here, Dan. On to the next piece.